Is committed to the perfect finish.
Welcome to Saturday League Kickoff.
Well, it is Saturday morning, and what has been part of the staple diet every Saturday morning is this show, Saturday League Kickoff, with myself and Andrew Webster. We're going to go across everything that's happened throughout the week. There's been some big issues again in the world of rugby league. Two really good games last night. Two results, Webby, where two teams are starting to send a message to the rest of the competition. One, we're used to them winning. One is now starting to convince people that they've got a little bit more in their game, a little bit more in the left in the rest of the season. How have you been? How's your week been?
I'm very good. I'm good. This is the staple, the Saturday morning staple.
It is. Can we change the name this late in the season?
Along with a bacon and egg roll and a strong latte.
You do love your bacon and egg roll.
I do like it from here just as we get in. Because I'm such a professional, I like to just do so much research Saturday mornings before I come into the show so to get something on the run. Does that sound like a good excuse? Yeah. I tell you what, you're right. Like Penrith, they're just starting to pull the whip and give it a little tappy tap. About 6 weeks out from the finals and the Sharks. That was a really important win for them against the Roosters last night, 31-18. And maybe a few of us were a little bit too hasty to dismiss the Sharks. So Craig Fitzgibbon's team is starting to look the goods.
I think it's been pretty easy, their turnaround, and we'll touch on that very soon. And also thanks to our good friends at Wing House as well, best seats in the house. Make sure you book a table and go and watch all the good events, the great sporting events at Wing House. And also our good friends, our new friends at Monarch Advance as well. And all our viewers across Fox League and KO, thank you very much for joining in on Saturday morning. And our SEN listeners right across the country. I know Braden, he'll weigh in very soon from way over there in Perth. And all of our listeners and our viewers who love to text the show. So that's what we love about it. It's so interactive. You can give us a call. 1300 01 1170 is the number. Or if you want to give us a text as well, 0457 736 736 is the number. You can have your say throughout the show. Whatever we may not talk about and you want to talk about it, you want to debate it, it's an open book because we only just said 2 minutes before we came on air. I actually don't know what we're going to talk about. Can we just riff?
We're just going to riff. We're just going to be, it's like Sats and Webby unplugged, just going into different areas, just random thoughts coming out of our mouths.
Kevin Hart, Nicky Glaser, like, just doing roasts on
Which
people.
one? Who are you?
I'll be Nicky.
Well, you've got Nicky Glaser vibes, I've got to say.
Thank you very much.
Good. It started well.
Yeah, exactly. Some great games over the weekend as well. And we're going to touch on all of those with all our Saturday and Sunday games. But like we'd like to do every Saturday is something that has stood out throughout the week. And it doesn't have to be rugby league related. It's a Saturday spotlight. So let's get into it.
The Spotlight.
It's you first.
Do you want me to go first?
Go.
I'm going non-rugby league.
I love it.
Tim Zoo, I nearly said Costa Zoo. Tim Zoo, Sebastian Fundora 2 in the main event at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas tomorrow lunchtime-ish, Sydney time, Australian time, Eastern Seaboard time. I think it's going to be a really fascinating fight. I know that Fundora got Tim last time after there was a change in his opponent just 11 days out. Very awkward fighter, Fundora. But I think there'll be no fun for Fundora in the second bout tomorrow. And let's just say this: are
you still going with that?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, right.
No fun, Fedora. I look. Props to Gal and SBW. It takes a lot of courage to get in the ring. It's very easy to dismiss footballers that turn themselves into boxers. They've both got, professional records. So, but I just think Tim Zoo's right. We're not rugby league players. We're proper boxers, and I'm looking forward to that tomorrow. And I think Tim will get him. And I'm going to go with our good friend Denon Kemp, who said on Morning Glory yesterday a round 6 knockout to Tim Zoo.
I think he's right actually, because you look at that last fight and that probably one of the worst gashes that I've seen in boxing. And for one to continue, but two for him to get a split decision as well shows how close he was when he had so many limitations to try and take him out. But I agree. I know Fundora has gone and defended the title.
He's got his all sort
our
of
good mate Pete Bedell sent me a photo this morning from the weigh-in, and both come underweight. Now he's 6'7", and weighs 70 kilos, 69 and,
Yeah,
and a bit kilos.
he's an odd-looking
He looks like a
body
praying
shape.
mantis. He looks sick. He shuffles. But Tim looked great. I agree. I agree with you and Dan. And I think he knocks him out in those middle rounds as
As
well.
I said, no fun for Fundora.
Yeah. You went with it again.
I went through. That's 3 times.
Hey,
When you got a good line like that, you got to use them.
now my spotlight
repeatedly.
is, and also you can get that fight live on Main Event tomorrow on Fox as well. So I think there'll be a lot of Australians that'll be tuning into that fight. Coaches making big calls with selections, and we've seen that over the last 7 days, haven't we, Webby? With Cameron Ciraldo dropping Toby Sexton out of the 18, and then also Parramatta and Jason Riles, and coming out and giving his version of events as well about why they have left Dylan Brown out. Now, basically, well, first and foremost, I like Jason Riles' approach and his line where he said, the future is now.
Yeah.
We have to worry about our future. We have to worry about not next week, but it's next year and the years after that. And that means that Dylan Brown won't play second grade because it's going to stop the progression of someone else. He won't be 18th man in case we've got to use someone because of HIA. He's either playing in the 13 or he's not playing at all. I like the line in the sand moment. And on the flip side of that, Cameron Ciraldo just saying, based on the data that we've got, Lachlan Galvin is going to make us far more unpredictable, which means it's going to make us harder to try and defeat when it comes finals time.
That's what coaching is, making big, hard, ballsy calls, and both those coaches have. I can't believe some of the criticism of Jason Riles from former coaches who are now in the media who were a little bit sensitive to criticism themselves, now saying the same thing about Jason Riles. I thought it was really telling that Jason Riles had given Dylan Brown the option. I know we're going to talk about Newcastle later in the show, but he gave Dylan Brown the chance to go before June 30 to Newcastle, and Dylan Brown didn't want to. So
I don't mind that from Dylan Brown, but
you don't?
I don't mind that. I've signed a contract. I want to stay here. I don't mind it.
I don't think it's a good sign for Newcastle. When you want to get up there, get your I'll show what these guys can do.
Yeah, but you've also
I can do.
You also got a group.
I'll take control of it.
You also got a group of guys that you've spent a bit of time with, and you want to try and hold on to that as much as possible.
Fair enough.
Now it's not enough to stay there financially because of the money that Newcastle are giving him, but I think there's I don't mind that approach.
He's being loyal.
But what comes with that is the downfall, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, of what's happening now.
That's right.
And you are right with Jason Riles. You're coming from a club that hasn't tasted a lot of success over the years, nor has the Bulldogs as well. They're courageous calls.
Well, people were bagging Jason Riles for the decision to let Clint Gutherson go, and look, he only has come on and in leaps and bounds. So that was a inspired decision, really, in hindsight. So I just think. Yeah, I really like what Jason Riles is doing at Parramatta.
Yeah.
I think, from the criticism they were getting in the first sort of month of the season to where they are now, if I'm a Parramatta supporter, I think they are headed in the right direction.
Yeah, I agree. And, and they're a tough crowd, the Parramatta crowd.
They are.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you don't have much success.
Yeah.
As a Dragons fan, I know it well.
Yeah. We've got our producer just like...
Lurking. Nathan Brooks. Let's just call him the lurker.
The lurker.
Still sitting here lurking outside the door.
Let's get to the results from last night. Let's start on the Sharkies, 31-18 over the Roosters, and jump back into the top 8. They do, the Sharkies. I'm going to say it. Do you want me to say it? The Sharks have found their bite.
That's right. And you had the hide to criticise my
the
fun Fundora.
Yeah.
Jibber.
So,
you know what they are? They feel like they certainly do, don't they? And they've been to use the Des Haslerism, they've been flying under the radar a little bit.
Yeah, well, I think for most of the year the Sharks have been trying to be this flamboyant side, trying to just blow teams off the park, and they had to find another level somehow, and they've done it by and we spoke to Josh Hannay last week. The way that they won last week, it was just built on the back of that. Sorry to be boring, but it's that back to basics, high intensity rugby league where your forward pack basically bullies the other forward pack and gives you opportunities to everyone else that are meant to.
Just run. When they run,
as Alan Jones used to say,
be free.
Be free.
Run like wild antelope. Is that what he said?
He said something along the lines of you can't you got to let a thoroughbred go. You got to let a thoroughbred go. You can't
I'll tell you
restrain
one
the
thing, all the
thoroughbred.
thoroughbreds I seem to put money on a Saturday afternoon, they don't really seem to go. They seem to stop
Now, on
at the
the
200 metres.
on the back of the way they're playing, their forward pack are more or less saying, hey, if you want to beat us, well, you got to come through us. They've allowed the hooker to be one of the best attacking hookers in the competition at the moment.
You know
Blake
why?
Brayley.
Because he's running. Run.
Just run, young
run,
man.
young man. Run like a thoroughbred. Galloping downfield.
I'm sorry, but you're one of Fox League's favourites, and he's been around for a lot of years, Blocker. Tells
Yes.
some great Alan Jones stories.
He does.
Where he used to stand up and go, just run, young man. Just run.
Well, let's get fair income. Like,
Yep.
but that's what Brayley's been doing. Like he's been running the ball. Like he ran a lot last night. I'm not sure entirely what the stats were, but he was a real standout at a dummy half for the Sharks, and I like it when he's sort of drifting back and forth along the back line. They're quite dangerous.
They're very dangerous when, like we're saying, the forward they take it
Run.
upon their responsibility. They make it their responsibility to ensure that all those guys make it easier for them. Now, on the back of that, Craig Fitzgibbon was asked about Blake Brayley. This is what he had to say.
He's been our player of the year the last 2 years, so we feel like he's consistent, but it's nice that he's getting some acknowledgement. Probably the most important thing is what he's doing for our halves. I just think he's underestimated, has been, and now all of a sudden people are onto it. Like we've been playing far stronger footy in the last couple of years and no one's noticed him. So we haven't been playing that good the last 6 weeks and everyone's talking about Blake. So I've got to say he's obviously stepping up and he's added to his game, that's for sure. I think that's a very nice compliment for a kid that's busted his backside for 120 games straight and now getting some recognition back. He's a good kid.
That's the other thing, the durability of him. Was 120 games straight or whatever it is, Blake Brayley. But,
Yeah.
you know, everyone gets to a part of their career where, for whatever reason, you just go to another level, and he's found it as well.
Well, they're now into seventh in the
Yeah.
on the ladder, the Sharks, and the thing is, they've got a pretty easy run to the finals. They don't hit another top 8 side until round 27, who are the Bulldogs. The Roosters, though, where are they? They've dropped to 10th, and they've got the Storm twice, the Bulldogs, and
Yeah.
the Dolphins in the remaining
Imagine
rounds.
Imagine facing the Dolphins leading into the finals.
I know.
Well, we're going to talk about
Well, hey, well, imagine playing the Storm twice.
Yeah.
Like that's a tough one for the Chooks. So it was a really important game for both sides, and Cronulla got there in the end. Although they did, you know, when they've got so much class, the Roosters, even when they're not playing their best football, which I didn't think they did last night, 20-18 at one point there in the second half, and you thought, here we go.
Sharkies had to find something.
They did.
Yeah.
That's right. And Teddy probably, because he's been having such an incredible season, he was probably a quiet game by his standards last night. That didn't help them, but it was a quality game of football.
Yeah, they're a bit of rocks of diamonds, aren't they? 2 tries from kicks last night. And then that try from Tedesco before half-time was one of the tries of the season. Sammy Walker involved twice as well. But they've now gone from the last couple of weeks, and we were talking about when they were losing in the past, they were losing like a team that I think deserves to play finals, because they still showed about what a lot of, you know, we've seen from the Roosters over the years when they have been successful. And they just had that missing link, a lot of young players getting used to playing first grade, whatever it may be. But then they've now gone from a team that I thought could do a lot of damage in the finals to organising Mad Monday early.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, about a month ago I thought, here we go, they're going to be the team to make a run here. They made too many mistakes, and I thought the Burns try where he just basically waltzed through a couple of pretty weak tackles. I didn't think that was a very good sign for Trent Robertson's team.
And a debutant scores as well, which is outstanding, right centre. Now, their team's next up, Sharkies. They take on the Rabbits. And I know Kat, one of our assistants here, she's a mad Rabbitohs fan, very disappointed about last night's result against the Panthers.
She's very broken today.
Yeah, she's
swearing.
Take on the Rabbitohs next Saturday night.
Very
And the
irritable.
Roosters, as you said, they host the Storm on Thursday night, so it doesn't get any easier. But sometimes it's those sort of teams like the Storm that you have to be up for them. You have to be up for teams like the Storm, and they can play you back into a little bit of form as well. So let's get stuck into the next game. That was the late game last night, which is the Panthers 30 over the Rabbits 10, and this was at Bankwest Stadium as well. And that's their 6th straight win, and they're sending a massive message, aren't they? So what's that for the Rabbits? Is that 7? 7 losses?
7 losses,
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Tough season.
Yeah.
Tough season. You know, it doesn't help when Latrell makes a comeback and then does his quad
Now,
at training.
is
What do you got?
Well,
What are you going to say? Who
please,
you bagging?
Please correct me if I'm wrong. Anyone that they gave him the week off, I'm led to believe. There was a lot of TikToking, him playing golf, Trelmit, which is good to watch actually. He's got a beautiful stroke. But came back for captain's run and tore his quad. It's not ideal when you give.
Are you blaming golf for him tearing?
No, I'm saying that if there's a player that's been given a week off, you have to be really careful of the players that you do give a week off to, because some will look after themselves. They'll eat the right, and I'm not saying he didn't because I'm not there with him, but they'll look after their prehab. They'll look after any sort of injuries rehab wise. They'll do some light training, whatever it may be, and then there's guys that won't, and then all of a sudden they come back to some form of training, which is say a captain's run. Soft tissue injury.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So he's missing 4 weeks. Now, we're talking about this on Sports Day throughout the week. Now they make this decision that after 4 weeks, should they play him for the remaining 2 or 3 rounds, or should they just let him go through to the preseason and get him ready for 2026? I say you got to play him.
Really?
Well, you'd want to play first and foremost, wouldn't you? But also you've got fans there that want to see him play if he's fit.
I agree.
Yeah.
You get back out there.
And you need if you're not going to play finals, you need some sort of momentum going into the back end of the season, which sets up your pre-season anyway.
And Latrell would want to if he can get back, wouldn't
Absolutely, he would. You'd like to think he would.
I mean, I know people have sort of been bashing up their recruitment, and I get that, and they're valid concerns and questions and debates that need to be had. But they have had a extraordinary run with injuries.
Terrible.
Really. So Colin Matangi, he's gone with an ankle. Mambazulis has concussion issues. To go with the fact that more than a third of their squad is on the sideline, and not just not a third of their squad, but some really key personnel.
Yep.
Of course, headed by Cameron Murray, who hasn't played a game all year. It's a pretty tough. It's tough for Wayne Bennett, but I've got to say he doesn't give away too much super coach in his presses, but. I think it's right. You can't fault the effort.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like it's not like they're giving up. I don't think there'd be many games. No.
When you're a Bennett coach side, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
You always compete.
That's right. So I think that's something for South fans to hold on to. But it was a really important win for Penrith too. They just keep the party going. That's 6 wins on the bounce. They'd rested Yo, Cleary, Martin, and Dylan Edwards stepped into the breach and had an absolute blinder.
34 runs, 304 metres, 11 tackle breaks, 1 try assist, 18 points.
I tell you who was also good in the 60 minutes he was out there before he got a rest. Toto.
Yeah.
He just never has a bad game.
It's interesting when you watch them on TV, and then I went to the game last night. You are right, it is Combank, 377. I said Bankwest, I think. But actually watching... I used to love watching Billy Slater live and the amount of work that he did.
Yeah.
That you don't see on TV. But,
that's right.
Dylan Edwards is the same. Like, he'll run from one side of the field to the other to create one moment for his side. And watching Brian Toto last night live as well, like, he'll be out on his wing, on his right wing, then all of a sudden he'll just bypass everyone. He'll get off his wing. He'll push his attackers that are inside him out one more slot, so the centre's on the wing, the back row's playing in the centre. He'll come in and take that work, that early hit up, and then he'll get back out to his wing as well. He covers a lot of ground outside of the ones that are recorded.
Well, that second try of the match to Edwards was basically off the back of Toto's kick return.
Yeah, you're right.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, he does it every week. And,
so it's also about the young players. I know, Mitch Kenny was awesome last night. Dylan Edwards, we talk about those usual suspects that are just glues to the side, but the young players, your McLeans, your Jenkins, your Taulungis, your Luron Pateas, your Liam Henrys.
I thought Taulungi was great last night.
So there was one part just before half time, and he was battered. He looked like he was looked like something in his ribs, and he was on the ground. Trainer was out with him. Pete Green was out there with him, and he looked like he was about to be taken from the field. That's how much discomfort he was in. But then 2 minutes later, he takes the ball to the line, gives the ball to Dylan Edwards as a try. So these young players are playing through pain as well.
Yeah.
When their trainers feel as though they're all right to go on and they're not being put in a precarious situation health-wise, they're learning to get through that. That barrier you've got to get through as a young player.
Luke Garner, he was great last night too.
He is such a good player, the believable jet. Yeah.
He is. He's off at the end of this year.
No, he's off at the end of next year.
I know, but I think there's already talk about where he might be headed.
Well, they're happy to keep him. They want him to stay. But they're also saying, listen, if this is a guy who's sort of at the end of his late 20s, can get an extended deal somewhere else, they'd always talk about that option as well. And that's the club putting the player first. But they want to keep him. But he would be a really good acquisition for a club.
Well, I think the Dragons and both Parramatta, they're the two teams that are being linked to him so far. So he'd be a handy pick up for whoever gets him if he decides to leave Penrith. But they all seem to be taking unders, don't they, to stay?
Yeah.
A lot of them.
Yeah. And this is where
not all of them, but some of them for sure.
And this is where your top teams get the ability to do this. The bottom teams have got to probably pay anywhere from up to 10% more to get players.
Let's get fair income. Can Penrith win the comp?
Yeah, absolutely they can. They can based on the aura, and other teams know that if they're in the top 8. And it doesn't matter whether they finish 5th or 6th because a home semi-final to them is irrelevant.
I think in this funkiest of seasons, this is the year you're going to win it from outside the 4.
You're right, and they've got players that know how to prepare.
That's right.
So they're for big games.
Yeah, and I always reckon when a lot in Origin, like if you lose, when Queensland lose, those Melbourne Storm Queenslanders usually rise to the occasion and they go pretty close to winning it. And I reckon that could be the case with Penrith.
Yeah.
That's the motivation for the likes of Martin, Cleary, Edwards, Yo.
Do you know that week one of final, and I don't think they'll make top 4, but it doesn't matter.
I don't think they make 4.
Whoever they're playing week 1 of the finals, Panthers, you're not going to say to me that whoever they're playing, it doesn't matter how experienced their team is in finals, whatever it may be, they'll be saying to themselves, some of those players will be saying to themselves, we're going to beat them, but there's that little voice in the back of their head saying, it's Penrith.
It's Penrith, and it's also, as we've seen the last 4 seasons, they go to a new level. They're a different team in September.
Yeah.
And that's how they approach it. That's how they've approached their last 4 campaigns, by really ramping things up and really picking their theme and what's going to motivate them like a couple of weeks out from the finals. That's what they do, and it's proven to be very successful for them, obviously. Whether they can do it this year is another question. I just think also the resolve of Nathan Cleary and everything he's had to say about his own Origin performance has been just the mark of a champion. He's got so much class, and I can just see him. I can just see what happened in that third game being a motivation for him for the rest of this season.
Well, self-reflection is tough, and when you do it publicly, it sort of sends a message, doesn't it? A little bit of a Babe Ruth sort of moment.
I know I've said it on this show, and it sets off the text line. I do. I think the way that he has handled himself since Origin, the way that he's been able to talk about it head on, everywhere he's gone. He was talking about it on 9 this week.
Yeah.
And he's just so pragmatic about it and so honest about it. And maybe it's because I've been covering the game for so long. I just know so many players in that position who wouldn't do an interview for the next year.
Yeah.
So I think it says a lot about him.
They've got to stay up for a long time when it comes to leading into the finals as well. So can they do that? Well, we know they have done that in the past, Penrith. So round 24, they have the Storm. Round 25, they've got the Raiders. And round 26, they've got the Bulldogs.
Well, that Raiders game's a good one.
Yeah. So, and then...
We'll know more then.
Well, that Raiders game is, 2 games from the end of the season. They finish off with your Dragons in round 27.
Tough one.
Yeah, but that Raiders game, I mean, that will play a huge role into whether the Raiders possibly are going to position themselves to be outright minor premier favourites.
I reckon they will for sure.
As well, or the Panthers putting pressure on that top 4 position. But I agree with you. I think they could be the first side outside the top 8, definitely. They could win it. They've got to start for a long time. But like Melbourne do, what Melbourne do really well is I don't think they make week 1 of the finals their first week of finals. They sort of make round 26 their first week of the finals.
Who's that?
Melbourne.
Yeah, they will.
They don't rest a lot of players. They say, this is who you're going to play against, and this is how we're going to play. And you've got to try and stop it.
I tell you what it is. It's going to be such an exciting final series.
Yeah.
It's just not 1 or 2 teams. Realistically, there's 6 teams there that can win the comp. Thoughts?
Well, I didn't think that in the first half of the season. I thought there was probably 3, but I agree with you now. I didn't think it's so open.
I'm right, basically.
Not like Fonzie.
Wrong.
333 on the text line 0457 736 736 says, talk about ballsy calls. What's stopping Bennett from playing Lewis Dodd? Now, he came off the bench last night, watched it closely. There's a lot of times he demanded the ball and they went away from him. I don't know whether it's a sign, but...
That's not a good sign.
You know, Wayne Bennett has...
You don't know whether it's a sign. I'll tell you what, that's not a great sign.
Well, Wayne Bennett has failed to let him go. So he obviously sees something there.
I'd be surprised if something didn't happen over the off-season.
Yep.
I really would. I know there's Super League clubs that are interested, but it's still going to be a big whack on their cap, you know. Whether another NRL club wants to pick him up, I don't hear that there's any interest there.
I would.
Would you?
Yeah, I'd pick him up. There's not a lot of half.
I haven't seen enough of him.
There's not a lot of halfbacks out there. Not a lot of half. You know, what you got to do is you look at the attributes. I think there's some positions in the UK Super League that just don't fit in the NRL.
Yeah.
But I think there are some positions. And I think, you know, with the likes of, you know, George Williams and, you know, all those sort of players that have come over the years, you know, Yandy Gregory's, all those Poms that have come over, the halves have shown that they can actually bring a completely different dynamic to our game, the way they play over there. If I was an NRL club, and if someone's going to pay some of his wage, I'd definitely take him.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's look at other signings as well.
Let's see what happens.
Jonah Glover, they've signed to come into the side. Cam Murray be back for 2026. And reading today on Fox Sports, Wayne Bennett has confirmed that off-contract 5/8 Cody Walker will sign a one-year extension for the Rabbitohs in 2026. Now, he's out with that ongoing calf injury, which is always regarded as the old man injury.
Have you got any calf injuries?
I haven't got a calf injury.
I got both my calves tear.
You've got massive calves,
I do have big calves.
Yeah,
I
massive
do.
calves.
It's a big engine. It's a big rig. It's got a motor.
Do you know another person that hasn't signed yet, if I'm wrong, is Alex Johnston.
Yeah.
Now, they marched the streets in 2000 to get them back in the comp.
They'll march him.
They'll march again for Alex Johnston. For him to score, to break that record if he's not going to... And I think it's going to be harder for him to break the record with no Latrell.
Well, he got one last night, didn't he?
He did, yeah. With no Latrell, it's going to be harder to get it this year. If he doesn't do it in a Bunnies jersey, the fans will...
They'll be rioting in the streets.
They'll tear... I was going to say tear Ali.
They'll run. They'll be running in the streets. That's what they'll be doing.
Yep. Hey, judiciary report charges the other weekend. Thank you very much, Pete. That was quick. We love it.
Boom, boom.
What show?
What?
What show was that from?
Boom, boom.
No, that audio.
CSI?
That was LA Law, wasn't it?
LA Law, sorry.
LA Law, yeah. Law and Order.
Law and Order. Oh, yeah, you nailed it. LA Law.
Yeah. The charges...
About 20 years late. Close.
Blake Brayley, Adam Fanua-Blake, and Jamie Humphries all looking at fines. Brayley, dangerous throw, grade 1 on Billy Smith. Fanua-Blake, shoulder charge, grade 1 on Lindsay Collins, I should say. And Jamie Humphries, dangerous contact, grade 1 on Dylan Edwards as well. Just all looking at fines at the moment.
And how much are those fines? Are they in the...
I don't know.
Are they in the same vicinity as Josh Kerr's $10,000 fine?
Oh. Hey, he had a 5-day show cause notice.
Yeah.
Have we heard the outcome of that yet?
I think he's going to fight it.
He's going to fight it?
Yeah.
Well, the club's going to fight it,
The club's going to fight it.
Yeah. I don't think there's many grounds to stand on, is
well,
there? I'd like to... Hey, Terry Reader, I know you watch the show.
You know what? Can I say this? Yeah, Terry, give us a call. No one else is calling us today, so you... anyone randomly, we're going to go get people off the street to come and talk on our show this morning. But I know it's a bit of a segue. Mm-hmm. Josh Kerr, come on, NRL.
What? No, they've got to come down hard on him.
Warn it. It was tongue in cheek.
I know, but they got to.
I went back and listened to it. You know what he deserves. You know what he needs. This is where great leadership from Andrew Abdo would be. Listen, mate. I know you're joking, but just don't say that because you're questioning the ref's integrity.
Yeah.
You said that he's cheated basically.
Yeah.
So don't do it again. And then Josh Kirkham goes, you know what? It was silly. Young kids out there. You got to respect the referee.
I agree.
Turn to something. Don't just go. Here's $10,000.
Yeah, I agree.
I've seen them warn. They've warned coaches for worse. And then they would come down $10,000 on a player. Come on.
Yeah, you make.
And I'm the biggest defender of referees and how important they are, and they don't deserve to get bashed.
And I wouldn't think Josh.
I just think that just requires a little bit of leadership from Andrew Abdo.
Suspended fine.
Suspended fine.
Yeah.
They suspend fines for They did it with Gus.
Yeah.
They suspended a fine with Gus, and he sits there and hammers the referees in the NRL over and over and over.
You still always find a way to bring Gus into the equation.
But it's true, though.
No, you're right.
It's true, though. Because I'll tell you why. Because they're scared of Gus. They're not scared of Josh Kerr.
They should be, but...
I would be too. He's a big unit.
Now, the thing about Josh Kerr is he wouldn't be on... he wouldn't be on 600,000, 700,000, 800,000 a year. So $10,000 is a lot of money. A lot of money.
There
So,
you go.
hey,
Sorry, this is my 2 cents.
have your say, 1300 01 1170, or send us a text, 0457 736 736. Coming up next, what we got? We got a phone call. Have we got Gary from Newtown? Is he there? He's going to maybe call back, 1300 01 1170. Let's get to a break here, and up next, we'll have someone. Anyway. Yeah, welcome back to Saturday League Kickoff. Sats and Webby here, as we are each and every week, unless Webby's got something more important on
Sorry.
over the weeks. Hey, you went and saw the Book of Mormons last night, didn't you?
Mormon.
I haven't
did.
seen it.
I did. I took my mum there.
Took your mum to the Book of Mormon.
Yeah. Let's just say it was a bit more risque than I understood it to be. I'd be very careful with who you take to Book of Mormon.
Okay. Hey, let's talk about the...
And then I got home and watched the replays of my other religion, rugby league.
Yep. I like where you're going.
Do you see what I did there?
Do you know, I like it. We spoke just before, and if you're only just joining us for the first time, in the first segment we spoke about Josh Kerr, and you've actually changed my opinion on that. I think it's a really good call there. And when we talk about Terry Reader and the CEO of the Dolphins, who's done an amazing job these first few years, that might be their pledge to the NRL. When they say that they're going to fight it, when you read that in black and white, you go, "Why are you going to fight it for?" But that may be their.
Why
angle.
don't you suspend it like you have with others,
We'll make him
including
come out and do
most
apology.
recently Phil Gould last year.
Yep.
And I'm not saying it to. I'm not. That's not a knock on Gus. That's a knock on the NRL being scared of Gus. You know.
Yep.
That's what I. That's to me. That's the fundamental difference.
So Mark on the text line says Josh Kerr didn't question the ref's integrity as much as Buzz Rothfield on NRL 360 the night after Origin 2.
Yeah,
What's your mate Buzz? What do you say?
Well, you understand the difference here. One's a registered player with the NRL. The other one's an independent journo.
Yeah, true. Good point.
So the NRL actually can't find Buzz. That's the difference.
You're making a lot of sense this morning.
It's called common sense.
Okay.
What else do you want? What else do you need? What other wisdom do you need from me?
Well, we're going to get wisdom from this guy. 1300 01 1170. He's a mad Bunnies fan. His name is the Reptile, and he's on the line. How are you, Reptile?
G'day, Shaggers. How are you?
Going well, Shagger.
What type of reptile are you, Reptile?
Mate, I'm every type of reptile, mate. I'm cold-blooded. I don't have skin. I've got scales. Mate.
Very good. As long as you don't eat your own.
I know. Mate, don't you worry about that.
Very good.
So, what's happening on this Saturday morning? What's on your mind, Reptile?
But, mate, God, I get sick of the free pay. Everybody gives Sticky a bit of stick about when he loses and all that. But Robbo has to be the worst at it. Every time he loses, he blames the referee. Oh, it's a crucial time and all this. Mate, you got 11 Origin representative players in your side and you can't beat the Tigers. You're kidding yourself, right? Mm-hmm. Get up. Mate, you got more bloody players that play representative football. You nearly got an all-star side and you still can't win.
So it wouldn't be a South fan.
Is that
if you're not ringing up and complaining about something in the Roosters?
Is that Blake Solly? Who is it? Reptile, are you Blake Solly?
Hey, Reptile, can I ask you this? We were saying earlier on about Alex Johnston, yet to re-sign. He can't play for another club, can he?
No, and if he does, I'll put somebody in a chokehold with my large arm. Seriously.
You're pythons.
Pythons, don't you worry about that.
Yeah. Hey, Reptile, what'd you make of the game last night against the Pennies?
Look, I as a South fan in my tipping comp, I didn't tip it. We got too many injuries. But what I'm a little bit concerned with, Bennett's been very good with bringing players on over the years, and I don't see a lot of improvement in Tyrone Munro at the moment. He's defensively a bit all over the show. Humphreys, I think, has gone backwards since the start of the season. I'm a bit concerned by that, because normally that's Bennett's superpower, where he can just bring these young fellas on and they turn into, 20-foot tall and think they can run through walls. Do
you think it's at the back end of the season to maybe blood Lewis Dodd into that starting role and stick solid with him?
Yeah, and I don't know why Bennett in the past would go to Lewis Dodd in years gone past, going, mate, show me why you're worth $700,000. Get out there and prove everybody wrong. He would tell him that. And you know, Webby, he used to do that to players. And the fact he hasn't done that to Lewis Dodd is a bit weird.
To me, it just seems like they're desperate for him to move. You know, that's why they're not picking him, obviously. I know that's sort of stating the obvious, but it's like, you know, in the face of all these injuries, particularly in the halves, and how they've had to chop and change, and, yeah, they lack direction, don't they? And I agree, Humphrey started the season like the world on foot. He was very strong at the start of the year.
If you want to move a player on, you're playing.
What do you mean?
If you're not going to play finals, you at least give him game time
to try and move him on.
You try and
so people, I know.
To other clubs, you can show some little attributes where other clubs go. You know what? There's something to work with there.
Maybe we'll see him in the last month of the season. Maybe. Who knows?
Thank you, Reptile. Have a great weekend, buddy. Always love your input each and every week as well. And for those that are just joining us, if you're watching us on Fox League, Simulcast Live and KO, welcome. And also through our SEN network as well. Do you catch up with any of the British Open?
I haven't.
Scotty Scheffler.
Scheffler's leading?
Yeah.
Who's the best placed Aussie? Where's Adam Scott?
No, we only got one through the cut, which was Mark Leishman.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, and Cameron Smith hasn't
He's gone backwards since signing with Liv.
Since becoming a
billionaire.
They're getting 200 million in the back pocket. He's gone backwards.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, thanks for your texts as well. Don't forget Tyrone Munro. Yeah, he's had a tough 12 months as well. Reptile is 100% correct. The Ipswich Bulldog says, getting all the love, the Reptile. Now, the Dolphins, 43, defeated the Cowboys, 24 at Suncorp Stadium. I covered this game on Thursday night at Suncorp. Suncorp Stadium, the surface.
What was wrong with
after the
it?
British Lions and the Reds a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And, of course, the game tonight against the British Irish Lions, the Wallabies, the surface itself didn't look that great. Didn't look that great at all.
Well, that's a concern.
It is a concern. It's going to get ripped up even more. So the Dolphins attack, as it always has this year, on fire again. They got themselves into a pretty vulnerable situation in the second half because whatever happened at half-time, and the Cowboys needed half-time.
Yes.
Whatever Toddy Payton said, the players reacted, and they got themselves
You know what he said? He said, run! Run! And they did. They ran. But it was 3 tries in 8 minutes. It got a little bit... I never felt like the Dolphins were going to... They did have to go to another level to make sure they put the Cows to bed.
Yep.
It's the second time they played in a few weeks.
Yeah.
The Cows. Again, the NRL draw. Killing it.
40 points in 5 wins they've scored.
They can find some. They can find a
and they can do them quick as well.
They got some. When Farnworth when he's on that, when you get it to him on that left edge, and it's game over.
Well, they're talking about him being the next $1 million player, and whether a centre should be paid $1 million because the wingers have dominated because they're so active now. The wingers.
How did the Broncos let him go?
Well, again, it's a salary cap concern.
I get it, but I don't. As I understand that story, they didn't really show him the love that the Dolphins were in prizing him out of there.
Mm. Well, he wasn't going to be the marquee player at the Broncos, where he was going to be the marquee player at the Dolphins. And every player wants to be a marquee player because you get paid marquee money.
Mm.
Now he's looking at what he's reportedly is on 800 at the moment. Stephen Crichton 850, who's the premier centre in the comp. Tony Staggs would be there as well. Bradman Best on or around reportedly 700,000. Are we in the position now with the salary cap going, which will go up and does go up and will go up even further with the broadcasting rights, that the centres will become $1 million players again? I think if you've got one strike centre, and they have to be a strike centre, I think we will. I think we'll see the $1 million centre again very soon.
Good.
Because if Crichton's not getting $1 million, it's a matter of time before he does.
100%.
Yeah.
He's the most important player in the Bulldogs team.
Yeah.
In many ways.
So let's just talk about this young man again, Isaiah Katoa. He made a couple of poor decisions the other night with the ball. He just
not his greatest game.
Bit of a blood. Oh no, he still had a very good game, but just had a couple of rushes of blood.
By what he's been doing.
Yeah, but he still created a lot of opportunities. Asked a lot of questions.
He's just that no look pass.
Yep.
Like he's just so deceptive.
Yep.
And he just seems so. I know we've said it a few times. He's so mature.
Mm.
Like I imagine when he's like 27, 28, having played all that football. Like it's quite scary what that Penrith system has produced.
And he always spoke about when he was talking to Wayne Bennett and he was on the Zoom call and he thought it was a cardboard cutout. He couldn't believe he was talking to Wayne Bennett. It would have only been Bennett or Bellamy that would have been able to get him out of a system like Penrith. When he's 19 years of age, it's only going to be a matter of years until he's the halves combination with Nathan.
Yep.
Because Jerome was going to have to leave eventually.
That's right.
That he makes the decision to go to the Dolphins and get handed the keys to the side. So it's a big move for a young kid to be able to do that. Why have they made him captain at 21? Well, they've run out of troops and senior players that could be captains. Yeah, Tommy Gilbert's and Jesse Bromwich is retired, and Mark Nichols was out injured. So when you look at that team, you probably say to him, well, he's probably not a captain, but because he runs the team, we've got to teach him to probably be more mature quicker.
Yeah,
just
for
grow up
sure.
a lot quicker.
They haven't got. They've got. I think they've got 10 players out injured. 10 of their 30 are out injured at the moment. I know it's different to South in the sense that they're not, necessarily in their key positions, but they were missing Nicarima, who I think's just been incredible for them this year. But 10 players missing from your squad's a big hole to fill.
Yeah.
They've done exceptionally well. So I'd love to see the Dolphins sneak into the 8, particularly for Christian Wolf in his first season after taking over from Wayne Bennett.
Yep, awesome. Yeah, the hammer was good. 2 tries, probably could have had 4. Herbie Farnworth, now with the British Irish Lions in town, has he sort of a bit of a role play in front of them?
Ooh,
I don't think he can go back to rugby. Jake Averillo, unbelievable the other night. Named at wing. Ended up at 5'8", played a number of 4 positions this year.
2 tries.
Exactly.
Should have been 3.
Had a hand in a couple as well. Connolly Lemuelu.
He is killing it.
Ran for nearly 300 metres, Connolly Lemuelu. So well done.
He runs like a centre. He's very handy.
Cows, well, it's going to be it's going to be a really, really tough run into the finals. Not ideal.
I can't see them making it.
No, I think they'll just miss out. Yep. Get involved in the show, 1300 01 1170. Want to get your calls? We love talking to our listeners and our viewers through Fox League and the SEN Network. Or send us a text 0457 736 736. Let's get to a break. Send a text in 0457 736 736 or give us a call 1300 01 1170 if you're watching live on Fox League, simulcast live or live on the SEN Network. We love to hear your thoughts. We've got a lot of texts here. We're going to try and get to as many as we can. Latrell would want to play when he comes back, so it would be a chance for the Ashes.
Good point.
Lordy, yeah, well done.
Salient point.
And Dan says, lads, have you played the new NRL game? Don't bother, he says.
Oh.
So shout out to the Year 10 students at St Michael's on the Gold Coast. Got a text message during the week saying, can you tell us why Tom Eisenhuth is rated at like 94 or something, and Nathan Cleary's at like a 91? I don't know.
I don't.
What
is
don't
there a
know.
new game? Is there? Is this the one that Peter Volandi's son was in the
I don't know.
focus group? Yeah, I read that somewhere.
Oh, yeah. So there's a brand new game got released. A couple of hiccups apparently.
Is there?
Yeah. I'm not a gamer, so I wouldn't know.
No.
Yeah.
I struggle with real life, let alone non-real life.
Hey, thanks for your text. Thanks, Dan and Lordy. We've got a few callers, 1300 01 1170. We're going to rattle through them as quick as we can as we get to the end of the first hour. Ned from Rockhampton. Now, Ned, Rockhampton is the host of one of my favourite pubs of all time, the Criterion Hotel and the Mix Grill. How is Rockhampton going, Ned?
Oh, it's going all right.
Yeah. What's on your mind?
Yeah. Well, I was sitting at home last week watching a Broncos game. I am definitely not a Broncos supporter. I don't care if they run last. I don't care if they get kicked out of the comp. But that's here nor there. But when I was watching them, and they were in the attack, they had like their 2 runners, either side, left and right, directing the Broncos players. That's not allowed, is it?
No, it's not the trainers.
The trainers?
Yeah, no.
Well, I think they've been guilty of that one for a while.
It might have been the trainer and one of the runners, and they were directing the Broncos.
Yeah, it's been happening for a fair while, Ned. Alfie Langer is he used to chime into the back line sometimes, Alfie, as a trainer, but it's been happening for a long time. The referees in the game like to keep an eye on it. Now, the trainers can only go on the field when the players got the ball in attack. That's the only time they can really go on, unless there's extra circumstances. But it's been happening for a long time, and I don't know how they police it, or if they can police it, Ned. I know it frustrates a lot of people.
It does.
Exactly. Dean from Tweed Heads, thanks very much, Ned. Dean from Tweed Heads is on the line as well. How are you, Dean?
Yeah, g'day, boys. Good morning. How you going?
Going very well, pal. Going very well. How's the weather on the Gold Coast?
That's the way. Mate, it's a beautiful day, actually. 20 degrees, sunny, lovely. Thank you very much.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Good.
So what's going on?
Very
What's
nice.
happening?
Look, I'm a bit miffed with the charge down rule. I'd like to see it changed. I've been hitting the NRL up for a while. I've been emailing and calling and saying, look, it needs to be changed. My gripe is, and just even last night, Koloamatangi, big forward, can get out of the line and charge a kick down. And why does the attack have to be rewarded with 6 more? Penrith go and score it. Kind of took the wind out of South Sales. I know they probably weren't going to win, but geez, they come out in the second half looking good.
Do you know
And
what?
I thought, I don't get it.
Funnily enough, Dean, you make a really good point. If your kicker's not getting the kick away early enough, and there is a player that has worked double time to get a charge down, why should you get another 6 tackles? It's actually not a bad point.
I actually agree with it.
Do you know Tim Sheens used to teach one for the coaches out there? Tim Sheens never used to want you to go through and charge the ball down with your fingers up, because all it takes is the ball to touch one of your fingers, which is really easy.
Yeah, let's play on. Yeah.
6 again downfield.
Gotcha.
Where if you go through with a fist and it hits it, there's a big chance of ricocheting solid somewhere, and
up.
you're a bigger chance of getting the ball back as well. So that's a really good point, Dean. Actually, if your kicker's got to get, yep.
Terrell May, like it was 80th minute. West were playing. I can't remember someone they lost by. They ended up getting beat by a try. But it scores the levels in the 79th minute. He comes out of the line forward. He's played 79 minutes. Comes up, charges down a field goal attempt. And the attacking team, lucky enough, got the bounce the ball, get 6 more, and work their way and actually get a try and win the game. I mean, there's zero reward for that guy in the 80th minute to pull that play off. They've got to change it.
Dean, you know what? You've convinced me. Thank you very much for the call. You make a lot of sense. I think it's a really good call.
Let's get the campaign going. Because the NRL listen to what we say on this show.
They do. Well, they have to
set
because
agenda.
we're the first
NRL, we want
show.
to change. We want to change now.
Yep.
Do it mid-round.
Charge downs, no 6 again.
That's right.
I don't mind it.
And don't find Josh Kerr.
Exactly.
Well, actually, we'll send you an email at the end of the show about what we want done.
All the notes from our show.
Exactly.
Yep. Thank you very much, Dean, and also Ned. Let's get to Sean from the Riff. How are you, Sean? Oh, Wayne, sorry. sorry, Wayne. How are you going?
Yeah, pretty good, thanks, Scotty. Andrew, how are you this morning?
Good, mate.
Yeah, mate, just a question, please, Scotty. Mad Penrith supporter. Mate, Maverick Geyer, I noticed last night sitting on the bench, dressed to play.
Yep.
And with them resting all these players or whatever, the other Mav can't get a run in the Penrith side. Is there any reason at all?
Oh, well, he did come back from injury, Mav. He had about 5 or 6 weeks out with a knee injury. He's been playing really well in second grade the last couple of weeks, Wayne, I'm led to believe. And 18th man last night. And with those injuries, you'd think he would come in. He's off contract as well. And I'm led to believe there's a few clubs that are very interested in him. And so they should be, because he
goes good.
He's a very good player. And from all reports, a really popular teammate as well.
Yeah,
I would hate to see him leave Penrith. I think he's still got unfinished business at Penrith. I hope their recruitment committee see fit to sign him again at Penrith. But I think Mav's the sort of guy that there'd be certain coaches I think that Mav would play really well under. From all reports, super fit, loves to train really hard as well. So he's got a great work ethic. I think Mav Geyer, Wayne, I think he's a really good pickup for a club.
How are you feeling about your team, Wayne? Do you reckon you can make a run at this premiership or what?
Yeah, for sure, mate. Yeah, he knows what he's doing, like at the present time. Like he's resting players, getting them freshened up for the semi-finals when they come around. Yeah, mate. It's an awesome club, mate. It's just a shame with the salary cap and whatever, they've got to let players go. But mate, he's got a hell of a line that he can pull players from. And it's a very strong club, mate. Very strong club.
Good stuff. Thanks for the call, Wayne, on this Saturday morning.
You know, I thought that was the smart coaches know how to manage their squad at this time of the year. I reckon this is such an important period of the season.
Your head of performance is really important.
Yeah, right.
Look at you map your players, and it's about sort of asking the players to be honest about how
managing your
squad.
Well.
Yeah, exactly. You know? When you rest them, when you don't. Merv from Bundaberg is on the line as well. How are you, Merv?
Good, thanks. Yeah, just wondering what the goes with Josh Kerr. I just want to throw something in there that he said that Klein was a double agent. doesn't double agent say working for both sides? So how can be the integrity?
Yeah,
that's right. I don't think he even knew what double agent
yeah,
meant.
Probably. It's fair to say, Merv, that he wasn't thinking too clearly at the time. He looked like he'd had a couple of beers under his belt as well. What do they say? El vino veritas, truth in wine.
Oh, exactly.
So, yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right, Merv. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think he should be fined, Merv?
No, well, I think, like you said before, he'll probably suspend it at worst. But that's about all I think he should cop.
Yep.
Common sense.
Yep.
Good.
Thank you very
We're
much.
letting Andrew Abdo know in an email later today what we think.
Yeah.
And hopefully he'll listen
375. Sitting with this guy in the stand last night. He said, "Sats, it's me from the last night in the box. Moses Leota, so underrated. I have him in front of Haas as well. And Fanua Blake. He is grossly underrated.
I'd have him on the podium with them.
He's not underrated to his teammates
No,
in Penrith Panthers.
not.
We've got Mick from Margaret River now. Webby.
Margaret River, what a joint.
Mick is a publican in Margaret River.
Oh, that sounds fantastic.
He is a contributor each and every week. How are you, Mick?
Good Sats, Webby. How are you, boys?
Good, mate. What's happening in Margaret River today?
Well, it's not raining for about 8 minutes, so that's a bonus.
Very good.
But it's quite wet, and we've got some hell of a storm coming tomorrow, so that'll be interesting.
Can you tell us the name of your pub? What name of your pub? What's the name of the pub there?
Sattler's Tavern.
Beautiful.
Not Sattlers, Settlers.
Oh,
okay.
I was going to say this is a stitch up. Sattler's Tavern.
No.
Beautiful.
So what do you thinking, Mick?
I've got some memorabilia in there, but that's it.
Very good.
But yeah. So first point, the Chooks and the Cowboys, their defensive structure are a dead set pirate ship. What is happening? They are leaking more points than literally more than a pirate.
Yeah, you're right, Mick. It was quite evident, wasn't it? Especially the Roosters last night. There seemed to be a lot of disconnection as well. And then you got the Dolphins, and they were asking a lot of. They asked like 2 or 3 times instead of 6. They ask a lot of questions to the defence. You got to be able to back up and make those efforts time and time again when you play against those dangerous sides. But you're right. There's a real concern for the defence. I got a text during that Cows game from a mate of mine in rugby league. He said he was the same as you. He had some major concerns about the Cows' defence. So, yeah,
It's been their problem all year, hasn't it?
It has. Yeah, it has. It has, Mick. Hey, thank you, mate. Appreciate it.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks for the call, Mick. Appreciate it. Yeah. Hey, let's get to a break here. That's the end of the first hour of Saturday League kickoff. Now we're going to do a team in focus in the second hour. It's going to be the Newcastle Knights. It's on the back of, I suppose, all the chat around Adam O'Brien, but also Carlin Ponga coming out and putting a few of those rumours to bed as well. We'll touch on that and a lot of your text messages coming up next in the second hour. Welcome back to the second hour of Saturday League kickoff. A lot of love for the show. Everyone's loving the Saturday morning interaction between SEN and Fox League as well. Steve the Colton Bulldog has texted in and said, "Morning, guys. Great to watch and listen while working. Just a quick point from left field. The one player in NRL who has a great head for radio is Cameron McGuinness."
Wow.
He says, "I'm not much better." But he's also thrown up there. Is there any other players you can also say this about? I'm not sure whether the Colo Bulldog...
Nico Hines, he's not a very good-looking guy.
Yeah.
He's got a rough head. Sorry, Nico. I was kidding. That was a joke.
Joel Kane.
Joel Kane.
He's on radio, yeah.
Oh, he is on radio.
Yeah. Jimmy
Well,
Smith.
that's good. The ugliest men of rugby league. There
should be a book about that.
We should do it, yeah.
Yep.
That sounds good.
Hey,
Let's go. Just text in who you think the ugliest men in rugby league are.
Don't do that.
Doesn't have to be a player, particularly journos.
Yep.
I'll kick off Buzz. There's one. Buzz, there's another one.
The Dirt, Denny Wildler as well. Hey, all thanks to Winghouse as well. They've been
Chamis has got an annoying head. He's more annoying than a bad
beautiful
head.
head of hair, but
hey, a regenerated head of hair.
Beautiful head of hair.
Yeah. Don't worry. I've let him know about the comeback. The Alan Langer comeback from the fringe.
Now, Winghouse, best seats in the house and beers as well. They've been great supporters of the show all year. And also our good friends at Monarch Advance for decades. Monarch Advance has been the painter's brush of choice. And you can have your say 1300 01 1170. Had a heap of calls this morning, which is great, across a number of topics. Now, to recap the first hour is the Sharkies, the Panthers, They got their big wins as they march towards the finals. The Dolphins, they're making their late charge to the finals as well. But we want to touch on a team in focus, the Newcastle Knights. And Terry, you didn't have to weigh in. He said Brad Drew.
Oh, you know, I saw Brad Drew. I ran into him on the streets of New Orleans in October last year.
Really?
Yeah, not before Halloween. Walking along, went, oh, you're Brad Drew.
Good player. I played with the Panthers. Good golfer.
Yeah.
His nickname was Dickie Knee.
Really?
Yeah, Dickie Knee.
He's
yeah.
a great player, Brad Drew.
Yeah. Went to Parramatta, didn't he, for that 2001 year when they were
Yes.
breaking every record. Now, Monday night, Michael Shamus reports that Adam O'Brien likely, not likely to last the year as coach.
Adam O'Brien.
Freudian
slip.
And then an hour later, Michael Shamus is reporting that Ponga is set to end his contract early because he's engaged a New Zealand rugby agent. Now, we see this, and we're going to touch on this a little bit later on because you've written a story about, have you written a story about the R360?
I've written a little snippet in my column in the Australian today.
So
but I have been covering the R360 story for about 6 weeks because that's how it's been it kicked off 2 months ago in the UK. So Rugby League's got, in a tiz about it, but we'll discuss that later.
It's this live-type rugby concept backed by the Saudis. But,
sort of.
Webby,
not backed by the Saudis.
Webby, hold your powder. It's called a hook and tease in the business.
Gotcha.
Okay,
I'll hold my powder.
Yep. So New Zealand rugby agent. All of a sudden, you join the dots. You say, "Well, he's going to rugby."
Well,
but
no, I don't want to shoot down Cham Cham's story. But then the Knights said no. They're not. He's not. Adam O'Brien's not going anywhere. And Carlin Ponga came out and said on an Instagram post,
well, he did. Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere.
Wednesday
I'm
morning.
staying until 2027.
Yep.
Thank you, Kalen. I'm so glad that Kalen Ponga is going to honour his contract that he signed in 2022.
What are you going to be so negative for?
I'm not being negative. I'm being honest.
Facetious.
I think it's great that he has done. It's like how good of him to honour the contract that he signed.
Now it is good for Newcastle fans. Our very own colleague Joel Kane, during the week, he said, what I'd love to see, words to the effect, is that the club go to Kale and say, listen, can you just make an announcement? You're not going anywhere. It eases.
It just kills
the hysteria at the
moment.
Yeah. And to his credit, Wednesday morning, he did come out on his Instagram, like you said. And
I'm being playful. I'm being playful.
Yeah, I know.
I think that's just the world the modern sort of news cycle we live in, where a player's got to come out and knock things on the head.
Is with the announcement that Adam O'Brien, he's going to be there because he's got a contract.
Yeah.
And then not long after that, Kalen Ponga comes out as well. Is Kalen privy to some information about the club moving forward?
I think
have they engaged him?
This is the question, and I don't only Kalen Ponga actually knows, or people within the Knights know what it means. But what does Ponga making such a bold declaration about his future mean for Adam O'Brien, the coach? I've said it on this show, and others disagree. I'm sure a lot of Knights fans disagree. I just feel like Adam O'Brien, given the fact that he's made the finals all but 1 year during his time at the club, and we're told that he was instrumental in Dylan Brown coming to the club.
Yep.
I think he at least deserves the start of the season to see how that works. Those combinations with Dylan Brown and Fletcher Sharp and Ponga, who's going to be there. Then again, on Morning Glory yesterday, Matty Johns, proud former Knights player, was saying, it's the problem with that is if it doesn't work, then there's another lost season.
Yeah.
Do you want to start with a new coach, November 1? But if that's the case, then who is it? Who is it? If you're a Knights supporter, text and call, because we like to know your thoughts on, if not Adam O'Brien, then who?
Yeah.
Who do you think?
Well, there's a lot of good candidates out there. I tend to agree with you with Adam O'Brien. If he was an integral part of bringing Dylan Brown, I think they deserve to play together. And then you throw in Bradman Best, and Tyson Frizzell looks like signing for another year. Dane Gagai as well. You got your Fletcher Sharp, like you mentioned. Dylan Lucas. You're now getting the remnants of a
pretty good team.
Pretty good team. I think Dylan Brown's going to be really good for Newcastle. I just think it's the change that he needs, and playing with Kalen could sort of ignite something in his game. In his running game. So I don't mind it. I like your angle on it. There are some good candidates. Josh Hannay has been mentioned quite heavily as well. Kalen has got a relationship with him from the Origin days. He's a very smart coach, Josh. I think it's been about timing for Josh. I think previously he's been happy to be an assistant coach and continue to develop. Maybe it's timing now. And I think, You asked him the question last week on our show.
What does it look like? What's the club look like that you want to go to?
In the past, Josh Hannay hasn't really answered that. He's more or less said, I'm happy being part of a really good team at Cronulla. Fitzy's been good to me. I'm learning a lot. It's the first time he's really openly answered, well, I need to look at the playing roster, the salary cap, the resources, the conditions, all those sorts of things.
And make sure the people who are running the club are on the same page.
Exactly.
And as enthusiastic as the coach coming in.
Now,
because I think that's really important, because you can get as an assistant coach going into a head coaching role. We've said it time and time again. You've got to be careful what you wish for, because you get chewed up and spat out, and then it's hard to get back in.
Yep.
You know?
Now, what I can say is about it can be fraught with danger giving a player a seat at the table about decisions around the future at your club. Now, there's an art of, whether it's coaching or in operations, that you make players believe that they've got a really good, some really good input into the club, but it's ones that don't have an overall effect on the scoreboard and coaching. Players think they know what good coaching is, but it's not until you get out of the game and you look back on the game from the outside again that you probably didn't know everything you think you know about coaching. And there's so much that comes with coaching. So I know I'm not saying this has happened, and we're not saying this has happened, but if you go to a marquee player that holds a lot of control over the club from a salary cap point of view and the figure that you're paying them, you've got to be really careful about allowing players make decisions or have some sort of say in the decisions of your club moving forward.
That's right.
So,
That's right. I think Andrew Johns made some good points this week in his column in the Herald. The Knights. No, this isn't breaking news, but the Knights recruitment has been all over the place. And as he pointed out,
their salary cap has been a mess for a number of years.
It has, and as Joey pointed out in his column in the Herald this week, in 2018, their recruitment manager was Troy Pezzett. Then it was Alex McKinnon the year after. By 2021, it was Clint Zammett. Then it was Adam Doyle who stepped in when Zammett went to the Roosters. More recently, it's been Peter Parr. And then it became Peter O'Sullivan, who is in the position to, undergo a very dramatic overhaul of that roster. And Sully was instrumental in getting Dylan Brown to the club. It's going to take time for them to make, probably get there in terms of their pathways.
It's a
set, but they should be it's
a 3-year turnaround.
Yeah, but as I talked to Joey during the week, he's this is what I love about the Johns boys.
He gets quite emotive about it.
They both get quite emotional about it. They have such a strong connection to that club, given what they did there, in the early years of that club. And as Joey said, like how the hell the Coalfields region, how the hell the Hunter Valley, one of the proudest and strongest, junior nurseries in the country, hasn't been able to really produce a representative half since Jared Mullen played Origin, really? Yeah. It's like it's a little bit how Dragon supporters feel about their club. Like they should be producing, quality halves and holding on to them, but neither them or Newcastle have been able to do it, and I think that's a really good point.
Well, they've signed 16-year-old Cooper Votano. He's set to head to the Storm next season, I should say, leaving the club. Of course, Leo Thompson is going to the Doggies. Kai Pearce-Paul as well. Looks like going to the Tigers, doesn't he? So, and a lot of people say, how do you let them go? You shouldn't be letting them. But the salary cap. It's the reason why Peter Parr has been brought in. And Pete Parr has been here a number of times where he's got the ability to sit back and make some pretty tough decisions when it comes to your salary cap. That's why you've got to let players go. You don't want to let players go.
No.
But you have to sometimes. So, and this is where your players that aren't taking up a significant amount of your salary cap, hopefully you can develop them and they shine through. And those younger players that have started to come through are like your Dylan Lucases, for example, and those sort of players. So,
so who's your coach? Is it Blake Green? Is it Brad Arthur?
Well,
is it Willie Peters?
Well, text here from Dan from Newey.
What are the fans saying?
Can you please explain to us why in God's name the Knights signed Jake Arthur? And when you read that, you think, does that mean there's a lot of people thinking, well, Brad Arthur's going to go
Matt's
there
at the club?
I think Brad Arthur should stay in England. I think he's at the period of his life, his coaching career, where he could have a really successful, UK Super League coaching career.
This is the concern, though, but and this is where people get paranoid about coaches and who they're managed by. So, in the case of Blake Green, he's managed by Isaac Moses. I know that Adam O'Brien is as well, but if Blake Green gets the job, is it going to be an Isaac Moses club? And if Brad Arthur gets the job, is it going to be a Chris and Gavin Orr club?
You know, it's funnily enough.
While ever the NRL allowed this to happen, where coaches and where coaches can be managed by player agents, you're always going to have this suspicion about what club is controlled by what manager, and that is a diabolical situation that the NRL have been talking about for ages, fixing, but don't.
Yeah, well said. And you got some clubs that have got the ability to start changing the landscape of what influence some of the agents will have at the clubs and their playing groups as well. So there's a lot of people that are texting that, hey guys, love the show. Think it's time to shift focus and would love Josh Hannay. Love what he's about. Cheers, boys. Will Murphy. Josh Hannay, yeah, he comes.
He'd be great.
Yeah, listen to Billy Slater, the way that he talks about him. Billy Slater doesn't expect to have him at Origin level next year, put it that way. And that means that a head coach is not going to be an assistant coach at Origin level. He's got to focus on his own team.
But I will say this. Adam O'Brien went to that club as the best new assistant coach coming off the conveyor belt. He'd been at the Storm, he'd been at the Roosters. So it doesn't always... And look, I think what Adam's done a great job rebuilding that club after 3 wooden spoons. And as Matty John said yesterday, it's like he's served his purpose in many respects. Yeah. But, you know, an assistant coach doesn't always translate to being a good head coach.
Can I tell you one that's out of left field?
The Walker brothers?
No. The Walker brothers have a position in the game in the future. They just got to get back into coaching, even at Queensland Cup level. Just get back into coaching. You'll get a seat at the table and you'll get interviewed within 2 years. Because this merry-go-round just starts again, always.
Always. Of course. It'll happen every year.
Yeah. A guy that's out of left field.
Yes.
Ryan Hinchcliffe from the Melbourne Storm.
Oh.
Yeah. Probably not ready just yet, but I think over the next 2 years.
I've heard he's the right, coach of the future.
He is right for the picking. Absolutely. Yeah, plenty of texts we're going to get to as well. Hey, Sats and Webby, before we get to the break, with the Knights signing both Arthur boys, does that mean, Brad Arthur's a replacement? No, not always. Not always. You just need depth. And Matty Arthur, the hooker, is a very good player as well. So I think he's a very smart signing. What does the Knights' spine look like next year? Where does Fletcher Sharp fit in if they've got Ponga at 1 and Brown at 7 and say Brown at 6 and Cogger at 7?
But wasn't the plan always to have Fletcher Sharp playing in the halves with Dylan Brown?
He grew up playing a lot of the halves, but is he a half in the NRL? He's probably more of a fullback and a running player. If you had Cogger, Brown and...
That was what they were selling. That's what the Knights were selling. Definitely Sharp and Brown.
Fletcher Sharp on the wing. Let him roam around. Just give him free licence. Nathan Blacklock-like. Hey, let's get to a break here. Thanks for your text, 0457 736 736. Any Knights fans, give us a call, 1300 01 1170. Would love your opinion. This is Saturday League Kickoff, Sats and Webby. Yeah, welcome back, and we've got a lot of passionate rugby league fans. Knights fans, Dragons fans have actually started to weigh in on it as well because they identify their club and where they could possibly sit as well.
Another one, someone texted
us. One right here.
Yeah, guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're talking about
someone texted in. Sorry, someone texted in. It's a Dragons fan and said, "You reckon we'll get the wooden spoon?" That's the Dragons spirit that I know. Are we going to get the wooden spoon? With a bit of luck, yes. And we can just justify our self-hate.
Hey, Sats and Webby, just wanted to shout out to my son Hudson. He's been really getting into his rugby league this year. We are both massive Bulldogs fans from Joe. Hello, Hudson. Hope you're loving your rugby league. Yep. Hey, let's get stuck into this. Now, Knights need Tyrone Wishart, or maybe bring home Kurt Donahue from Charlestown. Isn't he going well, Kurt Donahue, for the Dolphins?
From the Butcher Boys.
There's no way in the world they're going to let him go.
Was he a Butcher Boy? Junior?
Charlestown.
Yeah, that's who they are.
He would have been. But Tyrone Wishart, he's going to be in hot demand, Tyrone Wishart. I don't think he's going to go anywhere. And Hillstorm Hillary, if we mention anything about Melbourne, she's going to blow up because she's already blown up about Ryan Hinchcliffe. Get your hands off him. I wonder if he's going to be the succession plan for Bellyache. I reckon it'd be Ryan Hinchcliffe or Matt King.
Or
for Bellamy.
Yeah, there's been a few names tossed up with Bellyache's job.
Yeah.
I still wouldn't be surprised if Matt Tripp threw the bank at William Slater.
You make too much sense. Stop it.
I do. I make a lot of sense. I wish people would listen to me.
This R360, not the NRL 360.
Well, that's what R360 is. It's just basically NRL 360 minus the N and the L.
Okay. Does that mean...
See what I did there?
Braith and Is Braith going to have his...
It'll be Braith, but not Gordy.
Braith with his crappy brown jacket on?
Oh, what about that brown suit?
Doesn't that get a run?
Oh, God. Well, it's always when I'm on every second Tuesday, and he seems to just be wearing the brown suit. Or brown.
Yeah.
I call him the Brown Hornet. R360 is a Grand Prix style rugby competition.
So is it a breakaway competition?
It is a breakaway competition, but it's been tossed up by a consortium which includes Mike Tyndall, who is married to Prince Anne's daughter,
Zara. Very good friends with the Slater family.
Yes,
was on the field after Origin 3. Instead of watching the British and Irish Lions and the Brumbies?
Yeah. He was in the Queensland Rooms. That's through the Magic Millions, yeah?
Yes.
Billy, yeah.
Yep.
So Mike Tyndall, who's out here sort of following the British and Irish Lions around, is the face of it. This all cropped up in the English press about 2 months ago, and it's a Grand Prix style competition where they get the best 360 men's and women's teams, rugby players in the world. They're going. It'll be 8 men's teams, 4 women's teams, and they will play in locations from São Paulo in Brazil to Barcelona in Spain, all around the world. The problem is no one knows how they're going to. Yeah.
Do they need staff?
Yeah, exactly. I feel like getting on board. It'd be a lot of fun, but there's so much pessimism about it in rugby union about whether it's ever going to get off the ground. The Saudi Arabian money through their public investment fund has been speculated, but no one from Saudi Arabia has confirmed their involvement at all. I've been told in the last couple of days that that there is interest from the PIF, and but they're conscious of being the focus of this competition in the sense that they were with Liv. They don't want to be sort of front and center of a controversy around, funding yet another sort of sports league. I think they're keeping their powder dry with this one in particular. I've reached out to them to try and get comment and got nothing back. It's become exciting for rugby league in the last week, and I wrote about it in the Australian about a month ago that NRL agents had been sort of sniffed around in terms of their players coming on board, particularly those player agents that also have a foot in rugby union. So it was always going to kick off at some point. There's no way, like I see Roger Tuivasa Sheck has been linked to it. Not Czech, but Sheck.
So his manager apparently has close ties to the organisers.
That's right. Yeah. But if RTS signed anything, it would be the same as what half the Lions squad that's currently out here at the moment, about to play the Wallabies tonight, they're signing letters of intent.
Yep.
They're not signing any contracts because there's nothing to sign a contract to. There's no competition. So I think that there's a lot of this is about trying to stir up interest and speculate on players that would be interested in coming, and then they can get some serious investment to bankroll it. Again, people in rugby union aren't that worried about it. I think the NRL has every right to be not dismissive of it, but Kalen Ponga, does he want to win a comp? Does he want to win Origins? Does he want to play for even rugby union for New Zealand, or does he just want to bank the cash and bounce around the world playing rugby union, or what form of rugby union it is? We still don't even really know. I just think there's a lot of it, a long way to go. Michael Checker was on Morning Glory yesterday, and he made a really good point. Whenever there has been rebel leagues like that, there's always been a big TV network behind it, because that's what it's all about. TV, a TV deal. That's not there for R360 at this point.
It's risky because we don't know do we know the rules around if you are a current, say, international player and you sign with this R360, will you be cast away as a potential international player.
Are you talking about rugby league?
No, so if you're
no, there's no. This is the thing too. This is why it's sort of being dismissed in the UK. There's been no deals between the organisers of R360 or a rugby union anywhere else in the world.
Yeah.
So if you do, then you're going to give up your chance to play for, for England, for the Lions, the All Blacks, for the Wallabies. That's the. And in rugby league, you'd have to be in breach of contract to go and sign with them.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
if Kalyn Ponga just left, he'd have to break his contract with the Knights, and they'd have to let him go.
Well, it's the only way that a player can really break a contract is by going to another code. They can't stop you, the rugby league governing body. It's not ideal, but with this, I think there's 2 windows. They're looking at 2 windows. Was it like May, June, and August, September, or something like that?
But this is why it's all so loose. Like it's sort of been reported so breathlessly this week in rugby league that this is basically Super League 2, and it's not. It's not at all. Like as I said, they don't have a competition to play in.
Yeah.
Yet. So
You'd be naive to think this is not going to gain some traction, because we thought when the rumblings around Super League was starting to happen, we thought that as well back in 1995, 94, 95. We were thinking, there's this Rebel League. It's not going to get up because this game's too strong. Nothing's ever going to rattle it. And then all of a sudden, next minute, yeah,
exactly. But that was a different time in Australia. Like the great network we're on now, Fox Sports was born out of it.
Yeah.
It was all about getting a hold of subscription TV in this country in the 90s. It was a different sort of situation to what we have now. Like, I think if the Saudis get involved, as speculated, then their pockets are very deep, and they'd be prepared to do that. They'd have the money to be able to fund what the contracts that they're speculating from $1 million US up to $3 million. But again, there's nowhere for players to play.
Yeah,
they need a competition first, and I think that's a long way off. So
now Mick on the text line says, "Hey Jimmy, are you Jimmy or am I Jimmy?"
I think you are.
Am I? Okay, Jimmy
You're
Smith.
more like a Jimmy.
This R360 will cause all sorts of issues with players being able to represent their countries, which we just touched on. I doubt it has any legs to get up, and going union doesn't need any more hits to the game. Yeah, I think a lot of these rebel unions, rebel games, they start, and Super League was the same. It was about players earning more money.
Yeah.
And rugby union was once the great target because it was an amateur game, but now that rugby is full time and players are getting a lot of money themselves, there's something like this is really more of a novelty. But you'd be naive as a governing body not to take it seriously.
That's right. Yeah. Look, I'm if I'm the NRL, I'm not shaking in my boots just yet, but. And as long as there's a stack of money on the table, then I'm sure players are going to look at it. I think Roger even said as much. I'd be mad not to consider it. But he's a bit different. He's
back end of his career,
back of his career, towards the end of his career. But if you're Kalyn Ponga, Kalyn Ponga to me just looks like a player who is desperate to win something. He's desperate to win something, and I think that's the frustration for him at Newcastle. He's desperate to win a comp there, but it just seems to be getting further and further away from him.
Well, unfortunately for Kalyn, it's not his fault. He's got to be able to stay on the field, and then when you stay on the field, you can be one of the big reasons why your club plays in a grand final.
Yeah.
Anything happens on grand final day, but you get your club to a grand final, and you build a legacy on the back of that. And for far too long, we've seen these players that have gone to clubs because I want to win a comp, rather than being the person that says to themselves, along with a couple of these other players, we're going to be a reason why this club wins a comp. And if you have that mindset, well, your team will win more games than they lose, I think, if you've got the right players around you. Sats and Webby, what price, before we get to a break, what price would I get for Astronomer CEO Coldplay concert celebration this weekend? So, Cam says, for those who are not knowing what we're talking about, so there's some footage over the weekend, the week that's emerged of a CEO of
a tech CEO with a HR manager.
Yep.
At a Coldplay concert, and they did the kiss cam.
Yep.
And I think they went, oh no, abort. It's
gone viral.
It's gone viral.
Yeah, exactly. So that's actually not a bad. That's actually not a bad. That's not a bad celebration.
How are you going to do that? Like cuddle?
Yeah, someone will cuddle from behind
and then run away.
Then they'll run away. I don't mind it. Big Josh Papali'i, that's who he thinks is going to do it. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Hey, let's get to a break here. Make sure if you want to get involved in the show, give us a call, 1300 01 1170. And on the other side of the break, we're going to touch on the Saturday form guide, the games that are coming up across today, all 3 games. From West Walls End says, thank you, Webby, for yesterday's Matty Johns show comment where you said, sorry for being an adult for not watching Alien movies. I'm the same. Don't like them. Can't get into sci-fi.
Well, yeah.
Other than Star Wars, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. Well, I'm just not a freak for them.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just not like. Yeah, I watched them when I was a kid.
Is
that fair enough?
Liam Alexander's very good on his movie knowledge.
He is.
Son.
It's his bag.
Shtick,
He's very good at it. His shtick.
Yeah.
It's his area of expertise. Yeah, he's like a little movie expert.
Well, that's what he's on your show.
No,
for.
I know what.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of the equivalent of who he would be. Liam.
Hey, thanks very much to. Let's move on. Thanks very much to Winghouse.
Fabulous chat.
And Monarch Advance as well. Great supporters of the show. Thank you very much. And Saturday Form Guide now kicks off with the Raiders. Continue charge to the finals as they host the Eels as well. And this is where, of course, young Joe Ash will be in the halves. It was like that last week with Dylan starting in the middle as well. But Josh Papali'i, Hudson Young return as well. Now, I love looking at the matchups each and every week. KO Week's up against Isaiah Yongi as well. Dylan Brown is 18th man. But how do you see this one playing out? It's going to be freezing in Canberra. But, the players know. I remember we used to go down to Canberra as players and the coach used to say, if anyone mentions how cold it is, you get fined. So what's the first thing you think of?
What, how
cold it is.
Oh, yeah. I did my first year of university in Canberra. Very cold.
Yeah.
Growing up on the north coast of New South Wales.
In Canberra?
It can be. Yeah, it was good.
Canberra.
It was okay. I was a young, fresh face, but it's very, very cold down there, and you're right. It's always very tough for travelling teams. That said, though, I expect it to be a good, fast game of football. Daytime footy. That'll suit both sides, but in particular, Canberra. I just love the way Canberra are building into the final series. They've still got to buy up their sleeve. You know, they just seem quite. I can't see them. But I think it'll be a tougher game than what the market suggests. But yeah, I can't see Canberra getting beaten.
We've got a couple of texts here about Canberra. Can Canberra win the comp? Can they make the grand final? Yeah,
yes.
Absolutely they can. They do it the tough way, and which sometimes takes a lot out of your playing group over long periods of time. I'd love to just see a blow a team away, by 30 or 40, and it gives the opportunity for Ricky maybe to bring a few players off with 10 or 12 minutes to go.
Yep.
But they're always in there for they always go the 12 rounds, which is what I love about them. Can you write a book about Ricky Stewart? I want to read Ricky's autobiography. Or biography. Can you do that? Can that be your next
cranky
project?
little book? Don't read the Book of Mormon, the Book of Stick.
The Book of Stick.
I like it. I like it a lot.
So how do you think the
Raiders...
Raiders...
publishers out there
Raiders
want to give me a
bit
lot
too
of money,
much?
I'll do it. Sorry?
Raiders a little bit too much?
I do. I think with Papali'i and Young back, they're going to be hard to beat.
Yep. Have we got a caller there? Brooksy, caller gone. We did have a caller on 1300 01 1170. If you want to call back, please do. Now, live on SEN from 2 p.m.
You want me to
well.
host?
Jimmy Smith, Noddy and Timmy Manor, the Lion of Lebanon, is calling this game for SEN. And also you got it on Fox League as well. But if you want to sync your phone to it, you get SEN Sync so you can watch the coverage, sync it to your phone, and listen to the commentary as well. I think Raiders probably a little bit too strong as well. Let's get Zach Hosking stays as part of the Green Machine as well. He's been a real late bloomer, Zach Hosking.
He has.
Yeah,
he has.
Yeah, and he's 2028.
Yeah. He was a Central Charlestown butcher boy. Bounced around a bit, but found a home at Canberra.
Yep, good play. He's been really good over the last 4 or 5 weeks. Well, missed out on a grand final at Penrith. Luke Garner took his place through grand final with that utility role, but yeah, he's an integral part of this side. Now your Dragons up against the Doggies at a Core Stadium. 5:30 this afternoon. 3rd v 11th. And, try and push towards that minor premiership, the Bulldogs. Again, matchups and that strong decision that Cam Serraldo has made where he's leaving Toby Sexton out.
All right.
He thinks that Lockie Galvin offers far more to the team from an unpredictability point of view as well. And the numbers as well says that he'll create more opportunities for his players.
I can't believe sort of the criticism that Cameron Serrato's got for it. They got him to the club before June 30. They have to play him, and I think they were just trying to sort out how to play him and where to fit into that team. You know, I understand, you know, the love and the respect for Toby Sexton, but he clearly wasn't going to be. He wasn't their preferred option at halfback from next year. So I just why not pull the trigger now?
Yeah.
You know, and it's almost like it was confusing everyone, not knowing where to put him, and it was also confused by the fact that they had Origin players.
Yeah.
So I think it's a really, you know, it's the tough call that all coaches have to make.
Absolutely.
And yet, to be honest, it's the decision that's going to define their season, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right. Either way. But, you know, as we said a couple of weeks ago when Toby announced he was going to go to UK Super League with the Cattle and Dragons, I think it's perfect for him. Absolutely perfect. So let's see how this game plays out against the Dragons.
I do think it was. We talked again, I don't want to keep repeating what we said on Morning Glory yesterday, but these stories come out about his statistics and his his ability to create opportunities. Again, I think stats are very misleading a lot of the time. You know,
they can be in a lot of areas, but they're very
just because he doesn't
useful.
throw the last pass for a try doesn't mean he didn't set it up.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's I find those stats quite misleading.
We do have some coaches that focus on the immediate situation as opposed to looking at what created it. And that's both defensively if you let a try in. Sometimes it's not that moment. You talk about the try to Dylan Edwards, was it? Which was created by Brian Toto 3 or 4 tackles before.
100%.
He broke 1,000 tackles.
Well, I said this yesterday. Like, everyone thinks of it, like, you go back to that epic game against Penrith. Like, it was Sexton's craftiness around the ruck that actually set up their one and only try in that game, you know. So don't sit there and tell me he doesn't create opportunities, because he does. He doesn't have the speed, obviously, of Galvin, you know. And I just think, you know, they've got enough wins in the bank to be able to make this really brave call, and hopefully it settles down before the final starts. So that's just my opinion.
He has been great, Toby Sexton, at getting repeat sets. He's most in the comp 11, but as we know now, when you restart from underneath the goalpost, it's a 50-50 call if you get that kick right across the field. So Ricky Stewart's biography would be called Weak Gutted Author.
Oh, that's not very nice.
That's tongue-in-cheek.
Oh.
That's tongue-in-cheek.
I don't get it.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, okay.
Hey,
weak-gutted.
Now, Dragons have been dealt a blow.
Weak-gutted Raider.
Yeah, weak-gutted Raider.
I don't know. I'll run these by Ricky. I'm sure he'll...
218 says, how do we think the Dragons are going to go without Val? Would love to see Sugranis get a crack. I think he's been solid.
He's had such a good year, Val.
He has, hasn't he? What about Origin? He was amazing.
He was.
Yep. Michael Carianis, the full package. Daily Telegraph is reporting that it's rest of the season, shoulder surgery.
Is that what they call Michael Carianis, the full package?
Is it the full package?
He's full of something, I know that.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
I love the cat fighting amongst journos.
He's a good mate of mine. I'm kidding. It's not cat fighting, it's called sledging.
So,
because you former players, you don't. None of you guys.
We're rock solid.
None of you guys bang each other.
As a Dragons fan, are you concerned about Val missing the rest of the season, or it's?
I think it was going to be a long shot for them to make the 8. Just get it rehabbed and get back.
Do you think he would have been picked in the Ashes series at the end of the season?
Maybe.
Yeah.
He might have been in that squad.
Yeah.
He's been playing good footy.
Have you? I'm going to put you on the spot here.
Jesus.
I've said.
Under attack here.
I think Jake and Preston will be the
bolter.
The bolter that they'll take away. He'll end up playing a game. He'll learn a lot on that tour.
Been thinking about this Kangaroo squad.
Should have played Origin until he got suspended. So probably not so much a bolter, but I'll throw that out there. Is there anyone that? Think about it.
It's an interesting one because I don't think Tino nor Payne Haas will be playing for Australia. There you go.
Okay. There you go. Okay, Richard from Melbourne, he wants to talk about the next game we're going to touch on, which is the Melbourne Storm up against the Sea Eagles. Richard, how are you?
Good morning, Sats and Webby. Yeah, really good. Love listening to your show.
Thank you very much.
I just thought this was an important thing to mention at the Storm game tonight. We're celebrating the Starlight Foundation for Sick Children.
Oh, beautiful.
And and also it's the Old Boys weekend. Nick Meaney's 150th NRL game, and this will be the first time that Cam Munster has played at home since the passing of his father. So it'd be nice for the members to, show their condolences.
I love that.
Very well said.
Thank you, Richard. Well done. Thank you for updating us all around that as well. That Old Boys Day is very important as well, Richard. I'm led to believe that all the Old Boys and Peter Robinson, the former player, and Robbie Kearns, the architects of the Old Boys, and they do everything better than most. I think the Knights do the Old Boys historically.
They do it very well.
They've always done it very, very well. The Melbourne Storm aren't far alongside them. They're alongside them, or not far behind.
And then there's just some old boys who just throw grenades from the perimeter.
Yeah.
And like to stir drama at their old club.
Are you having a go at your club with the 2010 Premiership reunion?
No, I'm not actually.
Yeah, okay.
I'm thinking about other clubs.
Hey, but also, you sound like you're from London, Dunny says. He's from London. That was from Richard from Melbourne, not you.
Oh.
Hey, but the Old Boys, Melbourne, I'm led to believe they're doing like health checks on all the Old Boys.
That's a good idea.
What a great idea, great initiative.
That's
well
right.
done, Melbourne. Yeah,
Good on
so
you.
doing a lot of health checks across a number of areas for the players. The players who are now sort of, a lot of them are in their 50s and getting towards their 60s as well. Hey, the Tempur Sleep Well Player of the Night. We're going to get to that after the break. We're going to wrap the show up, get to your texts, and that'll be nearly it for another edition of Saturday League Kickoff. So send your text in 0457 736 736, and we'll do our best to get to them. And as it says, Isaiah Yeo will be the Kangaroos captain and coach. Probably not coach, but I think he's going to be the captain, Azza. Let's get to a break. Welcome back to the show. Great interaction. Who do you think will be the two grand final teams? Now, we're going to touch a little bit more on Melbourne v the Storm. Melbourne v the Seagulls, because that was a great call from Richard. And actually, as of next week, if you ever want to get a shout out to your local footy team, your regional country footy team, they may be playing a big game that week, make sure you text us or give us a call and tell us a bit of information about the game. Like, are the Curry Bulldogs playing against the Cessnock Goannas or something like that? Or the Byron Bay Red Devils playing against the Mullumbimby Giants?
I like it.
Or the Tabulum Turtle Divers playing someone. I don't know.
Keep going.
Who's going to be in the grand final?
Canberra, Melbourne.
I'll go with that. I like that. I like it. Hey, Kate, Melbourne v Storm, Seagulls, Amy Park, 7:35, and second versus seventh, Manly trying to stay in the 8. Isn't it funny? Like, there's a lot of question about Manly and the club and where they're heading, and they're sitting in the top 8.
I know. It's almost a little bit like the Broncos.
Yeah.
When they were copying it from all quarters about their season, I went, oh, hang on, they're 5th.
Yep.
Wish my team was going as bad
Cam
as the
Munster
Broncos.
has been named.
Yes.
Yep.
I can't see Melbourne losing this game.
No.
It does conjure great images, though, of the Battle of Brookvale and also just the hostile rivalry between these teams.
That night, were you there that night?
I covered that game.
Oh, I did.
It was electric.
It was. After the game, in the streets after the game as well, it got like it was...
heated.
Yeah, people were just... They were amped. Absolutely amped they were. And it was... On the field was... You've got to say, there's part of that game that you actually love. And it created a great rivalry. But, it dated back to that 2007 grand final when Brett Stewart got taken out by Mick Crocker early on in the game.
That's right.
Yeah. So...
That's right. No, I remember covering the Battle of Brookvale, and I remember it was Brett Stewart who came running in, didn't he? Didn't he come screaming in when the fight started? Remember Glenn got taken off? Him and Adam Blair got sent, didn't they?
Adam Blair and Glenn Stewart.
And they were walking off, and then they started getting into it, and then Brett come flying in.
Yep.
Anyway.
Okay.
The memories, so many of them.
So cannot wait for it. A great night's sleep with Tempur. The difference is Tempur. So who got a great night's sleep out of that game so far?
Blake Brayley is my Tempur Sleep Well player of the game. He had an absolute stormer.
10
he ran
runs,
all night.
103 metres, 2 tackle busts, 1 line break, 2 try assists.
He's everywhere.
Late offload to walk.
You know what he did? He ran.
He ran. Mine's
like a thoroughbred.
I'm a little bit biased. I'm sorry. Dylan Edwards. Yeah,
why are you biased?
Because I love Penrith. 5 from 5
Penrith's
goals,
great.
over 300 metres, 2 tries, 11 tackle breaks, 2 line breaks, 1 try assist. He had it all. He was outstanding.
He did.
Yep.
Copped a bit of flack after Origin. People thought that Teddy should have been there instead of Dylan Edwards, but no disrespect to Teddy, but I'd be having Edwards there every day of the week.
Yeah. There are a lot of players for that New South Wales team that went and really busted for that game 3, and in hindsight, some of them probably shouldn't have been picked.
Let me just clarify that. I just think because I don't think you can go back to Teddy.
Yep.
In my humble opinion.
Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you to Winghouse. Thank you, Monarch Advance, our great supporters of the show. Shout out to Malabar playing the Coogee Wombats tomorrow, Dunny says, as well. And thank you most of all to you, the listeners and the viewers across Fox League and also SEN, as this is simulcast live across Saturday mornings, 10 till 12. We're here again next week. Enjoy your rugby league over the weekend.